Welcome to another food science video. Today we're going to be talking about a mineral which is essential in the diet and a lot of people ask about, but not too many people are actually sure exactly what it does, and that is magnesium. Alright, so magnesium. A lot of people don't know too much about it. Whenever you ask someone about magnesium, the conversation usually goes something like, yeah, magnesium, it has something to do with the muscles, right? Which isn't completely false. It definitely does affect your muscles, but it does a lot more than that as well. But before we start talking about that, let me just hit you guys with some nerdy facts.
Magnesium is the 9th most abundant element in the universe and is produced by adding 3 nuclei of helium to 1 nucleus of carbon. It is the 4th most common element in the Earth after iron, oxygen, and silicon, and it makes up 13% of the Earth's mass.
And if you found any of that interesting and you want to learn more, then you should consider a career as a chemist. But in terms of our biology or nutrition, how important is magnesium there? Like I mentioned before, a lot of people mention muscles, but it turns out that magnesium is actually very important in sustaining life in general, which is reflected by the fact that magnesium is found in every cell type, in every single organism. Magnesium is involved in over 300 enzymatic reactions, including reactions to do with energy metabolism as well as DNA synthesis and much more. As I mentioned earlier, magnesium is very common in the earth, and as you can imagine, as a result, it is found very abundantly throughout the food chain. And a dangerously low level of magnesium or hypomagnesemia due to lack in diet is therefore very rare and is usually associated with drug use such as chronic alcohol or diuretic use. Mild deficiencies in magnesium from lack in diet, however, can cause muscle spasms and is also associated with cardiovascular disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety disorders, migraines, osteoporosis, cerebral infarction, as well as the premenstrual syndrome or PMS. And ensuring an adequate intake of magnesium could in some cases reduce this. Too much magnesium, on the other hand, is associated with diarrhea, and high magnesium levels are also linked to weakness, and this is because it inhibits the calcium channels on your nerve cells, and as the calcium channels are inhibited, it becomes harder to excite those neurons and pass a signal to your muscles, and as a result, you get weakness. Higher levels of magnesium are also associated with lower blood pressures as well as lower fasting glucose levels, and this is the reason why supplementation of magnesium is sometimes used in hypertension, preeclampsia, and even in some cases of diabetes. Now, for specifics in terms of diet, the recommended daily allowance for magnesium varies with age, and after the age of 14 it also varies with sex. And I'm not going to go into detail into every single recommendation for the different age groups, but I can say that in general it was around the low hundreds of milligrams per day for children and around 300 to 400 milligrams per day for adults. However, if I find a table with the exact recommended daily allowances for all the different ages, I'll put the table on the screen so you can see it. There's also an upper tolerable limit of magnesium, but this is only applicable to supplemented magnesium and not to magnesium coming from dietary intake. And this just goes to show again that eating foods, whole foods, is way safer than taking supplements, and if you can get everything you need, all your essential nutrients from food, that is always the better option. Now, in terms of food sources, where can you find magnesium? As is the case with most minerals, magnesium is found abundantly in many plant foods, including nuts, seeds, leafy greens, legumes, grains, fruits, etc. So getting enough of them on a whole foods plant-based diet is actually very easy. Anyways, that is a quick run through magnesium. I hope you guys found this useful. Be sure to let me know what you think. And keep in mind that I actually make a lot of these videos based on demand, so feel free to leave a suggestion for the next topic on a food science video that you want to see. And yeah, that is pretty much it. I am out, and I'll see you guys in the next one.